I know that some people are going to be very heartbroken that Freddy is not here with us. He is no longer joining us here for this evening because he has actually got a very big phone call and he's on his way to Rio to actually do some predictions for the Rio finals. So big congratulations to Freddy. Well done to Freddy the dog. He's going to Rio.
He's done really well for himself. I think he's had a good short career.
Great 2 hours.
Yeah,
a lot of effort put in by him.
He's had a fantastically short career, but yeah.
Even though he didn't get any predictions right, they still want him.
Good looking Rio Freddy.
He's best looking, I think, out of any talent we have. You know, hands down. As my product manager just said to me, definitely better than looking than me. I doubt that. Highly doubt that. I think, you know, it's probably the best looking desk I think we've had. You know, I'll gladly sit there and back talk Des, like, you know. Well, Des sat there as abused me about my age, you know. But, oh, that's a new one.
No operator ban. Okay. You can kind of expect that sometimes on the attacking side, but on the defensive side, when you're going to be attacking first, to not deny a defending operator, you're not giving yourself the best chance, are you? I
would have banned the Chanka, you know. You always have to be careful.
Yeah, you know,
spawn kill out in towards that ruins, you know. Always have to be careful.
It doesn't always have to be
Cover your
serious. Oh well, let's see what they can do. We're going to see Maestro and Echo for the first time this evening, and a clash. Oh, quick change off that, but yeah, it looks as though MnM are going to be well placed to, you know, throw a bucket load of meta all over Wind and Rain right now.
Yep, so trophy and statuary room will actually be the bomb site of choice, not that gaming room, which is more of the common one that teams like to start off with. Of course, Villa is very unique, where we have seen every single bomb site being chosen, every single bomb site being defendable. That study is the one which really hasn't been chosen compared to the other bomb sites. Of course, kitchen sees play, the top floors, of course, always see play. So really no surprise that they're going to start off here. They want to try and mix things up. Potentially the players of Wind and Rain could be setting up for, you know, potentially going to see if they could, you know, bring Montagna or maybe, you know, some Thermites or Habanas to try and get rid of, you know, the hard walls, which of course are very, very big on that kind of L position inside of that gaming room. But looking at Wind and Rain, not a hard breacher in sight.
Yeah, a little bit unusual. I think the hard breaches are certainly, you know, for gaining, you know, map control and stuff on Villa, they can be very crucial. Obviously, the typical push is maybe a master push and trying to thermite open the wall. Failing that, we could be looking at more of like a study gaming room push and working our way through the map that way. That can also be quite successful. But yeah, a little bit strange. We've got a lot of soft destruction on there. We've got a book and a sledge, which obviously, you know, kind of fall into the same category, but maybe looking for some vertical play there from the book, and an Ash as well to boot. So plenty of soft destruction. But like you say, maybe we're lacking a little bit of hard destruction here on Wind and Rain.
Yeah, certainly for a map like Villa, where you, of course, you know, you have that that bedroom wall, which is going to be that main hard-breaching target for the players of Wind and Rain. They're not even going to opt to try and take from that north side. Instead, it will be the south side entrance for them. Okay, I want to see what he's writing in the walls. Nothing. What does that say? KO? Is he predicting his own future?
I didn't quite catch that.
I think it said KO. Knockout.
Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're going for a knockout.
Yeah, they're going to get knocked out.
What can we read there?
Oh wait, they're already knocked out of Prem. I'm just throwing shit at this stage, aren't I? I'm not a nice guy. But
Citizen going to cut down the first kill onto Pro. They're going to be taking Book off the board. IQ going to be pretty lit as well moving into this room. Skylar boost, they're going to pick up one onto Citizen, but not before Frao takes out Speeds.
Yeah, Sylar and Citizen are actually inside of a team together, I believe. I don't know what league it is, another community league that they're actually playing together in, inside of Team Boost, and they're against each other inside of the Premiership. And Pat trying to cook an A does get eliminated from that long angle, being held. Actually doesn't even spot Nello, just doesn't even see Mel's. Mel's pushes straight in, but Freo will be there with the refrag. Siler trying his best to keep his team alive inside of this matchup. Could potentially try and get the pickup onto Pat, but that does expose himself quite hefty. And even Turtle, look, downstairs, rotates, has the cardiac scanner and nitrocell combo, knows that one will be downed, and that should be an easy C4 onto the downed. Sledge, you're going to go for the double one. Yes, go for it. That's going to be the pickup coming in. Does he get one? Yes, he does. No, that's not going to actually land. Pat just barely getting away. Is that even destructible? It looks as though it should be. It's wooden. It
definitely looks destructible. It's very, very unfortunate. We can't really see the floor there from that angle, but I'm sure it looked like it was going to land. If he'd have thrown it a couple of seconds earlier and it had destroyed, then it would have been a guaranteed double kill and a nice way to close out the round. But as we stand, it is still going to leave us in a 2 versus 2. And there's not all too much. Well, sorry, we have got a little bit of deniability there. We're going to have a Maestro, but Maestro likely being pressured as he just picks up a kill onto Pat, and Turtle picks up the final one onto Siler. So that's going to be the first round in the books for MnM.
Yeah, that was a fairly standard hold from MnM, just wind and rain. They tried to force their way in through one door. That was it. Just worked their way in through one door. Freo has dropped. Will we see the rehost? Okay, we will. MnM are going to take the rehost against wind and rain. So that is going to be the first round over and done with, a very peculiar one where we see wind and rain not take any hard breach whatsoever, and they try and push their way in through one door.
Yeah, I think that, you know, the way that they set themselves up for that round before they even started to play with it was just a little bit, you know, unusual, if you will. Like you say, it would be usual to see a hard breacher, it would be usual to see a thermite and, you know, all these other things coming out. But as it stood, like you say, they just kind of all got cut down as they went through statue door. So bit of a difficult one to judge. It came down to 2v2 in the end, so it wasn't all doom and gloom. But strange nitro cell. Strange nitro cell.
It looks as if it should be destructible.
I'd put money on it being destructible.
It is wooden,
yeah.
but that didn't... I don't know. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to actually go and test that inside of a custom game. I think I might need to. Villa's still one of those, you know, those kind of C4-able positions where you never really see getting C4. There's a lot of C4 action really in Villa, mostly because we never really see Villa. Just in general, you don't see these amount of nitro cells that you see too much. And still, what's your opinions on Villa currently inside of the meta? It's been out for a substantial amount of time, almost 6 months here at this stage. Really, why haven't we seen too much of that at the moment?
Honestly, I really don't know. Like we've said, the bomb sites are largely you know, defendable for the most part. All bomb sites are viable. There's nothing that's glaringly obvious. I know that when they did the Villa reveal, and they spoke heavily about how much time they'd actually invested in it to make sure that all bomb sites were viable, because that's what they want moving forward within the game. So it all makes sense, and there's no real glaring reason why Villa hasn't fallen into popularity.
Completely overpowered about the map either. There's nothing there that you can say, oh, this bomb site's completely broken.
It's really, really balanced. Personally, I really like it. I think it's a great map. But for some reason it's just not falling in. I think it will take some sort of a map shift around where they maybe take one map out and then Villa's all of a sudden a little bit more of a must pick. That's how they're going to get it into meta. They're going to have to force teams to basically play it, which is something that they can do, and it's not, you know, they're not really forcing anyone to do anything. But, you know, for example, you could take out a map such as Oregon. Oregon's only really got 2 viable bomb sites in upstairs and downstairs. That's probably looking at maybe a rework. I know it's a really popular map, and I don't want anyone to jump on it, you know, jump on that and say that I don't like Oregon. I do, but I think if you're looking at having every single bomb site viable, Oregon's probably one of the ones that you could remove and then, you know, force Villa a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that we've seen it in Time and Siege where, perfect example, whenever Skyscraper was still in the map pool, it was brought in. Team just didn't jump straight away on the Skyscraper. It was kind of sat in the back corner like Villa is, and then Coastline was brought in, and everyone's like, oh, let's play Skyscraper because we don't want to play Coastline. Yeah. That's kind of, I think, what's going to happen if we do see the next map, Fortress, being added into the pool. Yeah. Something else gets taken out. I say perfect one, Oregon, where those dining and the big tower bomb sites need to get a little bit of an adjustment because they're not where they need to be in terms of strength. Then yeah, that would kind of force more Villa play, because then you know, there's no Oregon, which is also another very popular bomb site, and whenever we move into best of threes, teams will then start picking that Villa as the kind of decider map.
Yeah, of course, and Fortress won't want to be played if it is introduced in, which I believe it will, because that's the way that the game's going. They're building it with, you know, a competitive aspect in mind, so I believe that Villa will come in with 3 or 4 viable sites, and it'll be billed as a Pro League map, and it'll be put in the pool. And I think you're right in that it's partly, I think, because no one wants to play the new map, because you're worried that, I wonder if that team knows something that we maybe don't about it, if they've spent a bit more time, you know, stratting it, maybe.
Especially in Prem.
Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a knowledge gap there, and that's something that's going to need to be filled in. And, you know, when you're not worried about practicing your strats for Oregon or similar, then you can kind of devote that time onto Villa, and you maybe leave Fortress to learn next time a new map comes out.
Yeah, of course, we'll all have to see where that will all be revealed, as we still have the Rio finals ever so looming. But let's get back into Villa, as it stands. MnM 1-0 up against Wind and Rain, and we will be going for that games room like we did kind of predict that would be, you know, the more common bomb site for both of these teams. And, well, Citizen getting things started with a Caveira being picked up. I wonder if that'll get 6th pick, or will it be stuck? Still no hard breach from Wind and Rain.
They've got a 6th pick onto a Hibana here. It makes a lot of sense for that bomb site, 6th pick onto a Hibana. And Caveira there, I mean, Citizen's he's a fantastic roamer, and he does a great job at kind of hiding himself away and pulling off these late flanks and these late flanks and these late roams. So I don't think that the Caveira is much of a surprise. Obviously, great for hiding herself from Jackal as well. Although Jackal isn't on the board, but we're going to see a 6th pick onto a Ying. Ying can often be quite good to, you know, brute force your way into study, especially when coupled with an operator like Glaz, which I think this is the first game that we've seen Glaz not banned and not picked for the first 2 rounds. So again, different operators, different maps, different players, different preferences, but ultimately sometimes you can't argue with an ability like a Glaz.
Yeah, of course, Glaz is a very strong operator, has a lot of power and pushing potential. Equally, Ying can bring that to the table as well. You know, she has the Candelas, can really fluster up her room with those cluster grenades. We'll still have to see if Wind and Rain will try and approach it from that front side, just try and rushing in through the B bomb site, or will it be more of a slow methodical playstyle where they're going to try and take from the back end and potentially try and take control of the long corridor? But no, they seem to be all spawning towards Ruin, so that kind of suggests that we'll be in towards the study, in towards that B bomb site. Just a very simple flash and plant technique. You have the capo arrows as well, so you provide not only the fire arrows but also those asphyxiating smoke arrows also. And then, of course, you still have the utility from Pat with the IQ to get rid of those so important echo drones. And you also have then Sophia for the Maestro cameras. So looking at it, Wind and Rain on paper, they have every single operator that can counter every single operator in MnM.
Yeah, definitely, and that's unusual, especially when we only saw one defending operator banned. Oh, Citizen there picking up a beautiful headshot long down the corridor onto Pro. So that will be Capital out of the picture. So no asphyxiating fire arrows and no smoke arrows either. So that's going to be a pretty big utility loss at this stage, because they're going to be looking to him for some sort of smoke. Nello, they're going to pick up a kill onto Melons, and Pat going to trade it back out straight away and take out Nello. So a bit of a loss in within the first minute, especially on your Legion. There's not going to be that many goo mines out there at this time, and you're going to certainly miss those in the later round. But Pat's made his way into Aviator Room, and he's going to be pressuring Vault right now, and he is able to pick up the kill onto Turtle, and he's looking around trying to get one on the bar. There's still one more inside the Vault, which he runs past. Fro there absolutely cutting him down, as well as Sylar, and quickly Wind and Rain have found themselves out of lives, and Pro's going to pick up the final kill onto Speeds. It was looking really good for Wind and Rain at one point there, but I just think that they got into sight and it was almost like what's next. They lost a couple of key guys early on, and I think that really hurt them there. Losing the Capital the way that they did, if they'd have been able to get into that bomb site, get that control, get some fire arrows down, and get a bit of smoke deployed, they maybe would have got a plant off there, and they maybe would have been able to hold there a little bit longer. But as it stood, they just didn't have anywhere to go, and MnM Gaming were just well positioned to cut them down and pick up their second round.
Another big thing about that round was the way that Pat pushed in, didn't check his corners. You know, you seen Freo sitting there. If Pat had just gone for the simple pre-fire to the right-hand side, of course, it's always going to be a 50-50. Do you look left? Do you look right? If you look the right way, you get the kill. If you look the wrong way, well, then you die. And that's a perfect example of what was shown. You know, if Pat got rid of Freo, would have been a 3 versus 2, and Pat could have easily refragged onto the Maestro as well. And that could have made game second round there, really, for Wind and Rain. Could have been massive. But no, loses the 50-50. Wind and Rain, still no hard breacher on their side, and instead smoke will be brought as that main man to do a lot of the damage to this MnM lineup. And once again, Citizen on the Caveira.
It worked for him last time. He got a really nice kill on the long angle. But we did get teased there with a thermite for a moment, but Melon's there switching it out and picking up the Glaz. It seemed like he couldn't really make his mind up as to what he was doing there. I think we saw thermite, Zephyr and Glaz before he settled. So I guess that they're going to try and build the push the same way they did last time, going in through Aviator Room and pushing through the map that way. I could be wrong, but I don't see any value in taking over Master Bedroom side and just piling through one door, unless they're going to try and kind of smoke it off and build some, build some map control that way. But of course, we'll have the Evil Eyes there, handily placed to see through the smoke to be able to alert the attackers, the defenders to what they're trying to do. Oh, they've actually gone downstairs. I didn't realise that. I thought they've gone upstairs yet again, but they have gone downstairs this time. So it is a little bit different. But again, a hard breacher is handy purely because of the amount of reinforced walls that there are able to be opened there. And Nello is going to cut down Ash straight away. As many hard walls there are still plenty of soft walls, and those Ash breaching charges would have been very handy, but that job is now going to be down to Speeds on the sledge to try and open up the map a little bit and gain a little bit of map control in terms of angles that can be held, and just give that Glaz something to work with. Glaz is pretty useless in a close quarters environment. He's obviously got the OTS sniper, it's pretty slow rate of fire. He's not the guy that you're going to look to start clearing rooms and start going in. He's the guy that you want to be getting on a nice long angle, covered with smoke, and able to, really make use of the sniper that he's got. You don't really want him in these close environments, so you're going to want to try and open this up as much as you can to be able to give him the ability to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of, looking at MnM, this is what we're expecting. Holding very strong. They know the mentality, they know the play style at Wind & Rain will try. They will just recklessly force their way into the bomb site, and this does fit pretty well with Citizen. A potential interrogation can happen. We've already seen one of these this season of Premiership last week whenever Doki did get interrogated by Leon on bank between Secret and Vexed. Do you see the kill coming back in favour of Wind & Rain as Pat eliminates Turtle? Citizen tried to come in for the flank, but straight away gets told to go away by the players of Wind & Rain. Proxy 4 kill onto Melons, and also the sledge will try and force his way in with a frag grenade over the top, but will also meet his demise as Nello will be there with, let's see, 95. Prox, easy kill for him. Freyo as well, clean up house, and MnM, another very simple round for them to control, and they get another round against Wind & Rain. And do I smell a 6-0?
It's certainly possible. Wind & Rain don't seem to be bringing the operators they need to be able to do what they want to do. I think on that objective, you'd been better off trying to take a little bit of upstairs control, destroy some of the floor, and kind of work your way in that way. But it does seem as though they're pretty narrow-minded in terms of doors and windows and how they're going to approach this. I think a hard breacher would make all the difference, and I really hope that we see one now, though. It does look as though they're going pretty gun-heavy again. There's a lot of Ash, there's a lot of Zephyr, there's a lot of IQ now. I understand that there's a place for those operators, but Ash and Zephyr in the same lineup, I think Zephyr is probably a little bit of a better Ash, and that could free up the Ash pick for someone like a hard breach.
Do you know what there isn't, though? There isn't any main pushing power once again. Sure, they're not bringing hard breach. Where's your Ying? Where's your Glaz? Where's that main operator which is really going to put a dent into this lineup? Sure, Blitz could have done that, not as good as a Ying or a Glaz in my opinion, and then they get rid of that, and they're now stuck with operators there who can only take 1v1 fights. And the way that MnM position, they have the crossfires, they have the refrags, they do that very well, and it should crumble this attack in 2 seconds flat, just like it happened the last time.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen them bring both a Ying and a Glaz in previous rounds, and it's been very impactless. They've not actually done anything with it once they've brought it in. And you're right, they're just going for, they're going for kind of run and gun. Those operators there, Twitch, probably one of the best guns in the game. Ash, fantastic weapon. Zephyr, great weapon. IQ, good ability, great weapon. They're not going for any, there's no support player. Weapon. Yeah, in some people's...
I think it is. I think it's a beast on the sea. It's mental.
You see people do fantastic work with it. I've never personally got along with it, but that doesn't mean it's no good. But there's not really anyone that's saying, right, you know what, I'll be the support guy. I'm going to take the bomb, I'll get it down, you do this, you do that, and we'll work it through that way. At this point we've got Ash on the diffuser, and it's just not something that you usually see. I'm not saying that it's not going to work, but I'd really like to see a little bit more focus, like you say, see a hard breach, and see, you know, one of these operators that you can really brute force your way into.
So, MnM, they're just going to be setting up like they always have done. Citizen not going to be taking up that Caviera. Instead, Ella will instead be chosen. Prox playing the Sophia, playing the sister to the L. We'll see if there's going to be any sister rivalry inside of this round. Melon's on that single window there beside the observatory room. Does take quite a bit of damage from Turtle with that spray in. He's going to be forced to stop the repel. Instead, rotate his way up in towards the balcony. So it certainly seems to be that this time the players of Wind and Rain are going to go for that correct play and push in towards that master bedroom area. But they don't have any hard breach, so it really doesn't do anything for them. They're just going to be forced to walk on in through, once again, another one-way traffic system. Nello, quick double kill, shots down Pat and Speeds, with still plenty of time on the board for MnM to hold out this round as long as they can. Citizen trying to get in there with the pistol, takes quite a bit of damage, and that seems to be where all the players of Wind and Rain will be stacked up, is going to be outside that balcony. I just don't know really what Wind and Rain can do here.
No, I think that Nello did a fantastic job of picking up those two guys on East Stairs. That was obviously the second element of Wind and Rain's push, and it just got cut down straight away. So now the remaining players of Wind and Rain that are stuck in Master have really got a tough job in trying to funnel through essentially one doorway. Even if they'd have brought a Maverick this time, they would have been able to gain a little bit of you know, a hole in the line of sight through the wall, and that maybe would have been a bit different. You can see there that Pro there picking up a kill. But at this point, I don't think that's going to be enough, as Fro picks up one onto Skylar and Pro picks up another one onto Frail. So we've actually got a player down at this point, and the guys on Wind and Rain have got very, very little health indeed. We've got Pro sitting at about 50%. He's going to TK his friend in that scenario just because he knows there's not a lot he's going to be able to do about picking him up. But he's still stuck in Master. No hard breacher, no way of getting in. Eventually he's going to have to funnel through a door, and you just know that MnM are waiting. And
there's about 50 goo mines as well on the door for Proxa. Proxa has the pistol, trying to get a little bit cheeky. He knows this round's going to be lost at this stage. Gets tagged up even more. Love to see Citizen come in and get the sister rivalry kills. Both of them have the pistols. Who will win between the two sisters? Both of them decide to whiz out and pull out their actual weapons instead of their pistol. Who would have thought so? No, Prox sticking with the RG-15. Nello there has the goo mines ready and does clean up house. Another kill for Nello on the Legion. I don't even think this guy's died this round, or this entire game.
Nello's doing a fantastic job at the moment. He's 6 and 1 there. He's 3 assists. I think he certainly got a couple of kills in the first round as well, because we did have a rehost. So yeah, he's doing a fantastic job there for his team, and you can see there the kill spread on Wind and Rain is just a little bit thin, and they're not really able to chain anything together at the moment. But that is going to lead us into our final round of this first phase. So this is going to be the final round for MnM on defense. They're going to opt to go up to Aviator Room and Games Room yet again, and again, seeing a little bit of a different operator lineup here. We're going to have a Dockerby as well as a Finker. I'm imagining that one of those is potentially going to get 6 picked out, just because it's not something that we've seen thus far. And with the way that they've been playing, they seem pretty stuck in the ways that they've, you know, the operators that they've been choosing. Finker may be a bit of a strange pick, but you know, can often go well hand in hand with a Blitz. Obviously, you get that reduced, you know, shield drop down time, but it does appear as though we're going to have a Zephyr switch onto the Ying. So we've still got a little bit of soft destruction in the sledge for Wind and Rain, so they've definitely got the ability to be able to take over some of this map control. But I'd maybe like to have seen a book for this objective, because shooting the floor from underneath can be really, really powerful at rooting out those defenders that are pretty set in the ways and holding their angles. That can be a really great way of just making it a bit uncomfortable for the players, for the defending players in either the Aviator Room or the Games Room, is a book underneath.
So we will see the same exact setup for the players of MnM. They will be bringing the Rook for possibly a spawn peak potential. That's kind of what I'd imagine Citizen bring, because he has chosen pretty much a new operator every single round and really different playstyles. You know, he's taking Caviera, now he's taking Rook, and already flashing some windows, going to get that spawn peak ready. Wind and Rain. Still, I don't really know where they go from here. What can they do? Still not bringing any hard breach whatsoever. Knowing MnM, I just think they'll just want to get this 6-0 as easy as they can. Very, very quickly, and especially whenever you can see the players of Wind and Rain who are just sprinting straight in and trying to gain control of the map as much as they can. It's just not working for them. It's kind of like hitting a truck with another truck, but that truck's bigger than you.
I like it. It's a good analogy. I think that MnM are certainly the bigger truck in this scenario.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it just seems as though whatever Wind and Rain are throwing at them, it's just not sticking and just not able to gain the control that they're after. They have got the Ying, which could make this push into study a little bit easier. But it does seem like they're just sort of stacking up just a little bit. We've got Finker there just screwing up a grenade throw, which is really unfortunate. That would have probably been pretty well.
A good triple kill there, I must say.
Yeah, nearly. It would have been pretty well targeted on Citizen. Citizen there is going to get pressured by Ying, but somehow managed to get away with his life as Pro gets a kill onto Fro. But Citizen is ultimately going to take that kill, and he's going to pick up another one onto Speeds as Speeds peeks around the corner trying to get a grenade off. Nello there going to do his bit for his team, pick up another one. Citizen on a 3k, can he get the final kill? The last kill, of course, is going to be onto Sylar, and Pro is going to get that one straight out the way. So coming out of the first defensive phase for MnM, that is going to be a clean sweep, 5 rounds in a row. So they've left themselves in a very good position now to pick up a quick round on attack, and that'll be all she wrote for this one. But Wind and Rain have certainly got their opportunity now at defending, and let's see how they do for it.
3 of them still yet to get a kill. Turtle still yet to get a kill, poor guy. He has took...
He's not got a chance. They've got Nello and Citizen.
Embodiment of a turtle in the form of Blitz, to be fair to himself, so we'll see if he can get himself some kills. And, oh, Fuse, Nello's going spicy.
Yeah, I think you know, Turtle's probably not had much of a chance for a kill. You got Citizen hitting 3Ks like that, and Nello playing the way that he is. There's only so many kills on the board. I think the kill spread on Wind and Rain's probably a little bit more concerning, in that they're just not getting enough of them. And we're still seeing a Caviera pick come out from Speeds.
Looking at it, sure, MnM are taking these wacky operators, but I still think they're going to have a better chance of doing it just over Wind and Rain, because I can kind of imagine Wind and Rain going for 5 spawn kills.
There's only 2. I mean, there's only 2 wacky operators there, really, isn't there? Finker and Fuse.
Still more than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I think this is the first Fuse we've had this entire season, if I'm not mistaken.
To be fair to them, they've predicted the Fuse pretty well, because Wind and Rain have actually gone downstairs. So the Fuse might actually see some action, and it could at least destroy some barbed wire, or, you know, get rid of some utility that's down there.
I better be seeing a Fuse shield. That's what I want to see. This is the best one. How can you not go for the Fuse shield? Because that pistol, the pistol he has, wrecks people. That pistol is one of the best pistols in the game.
Yeah,
it hits like 3 shots. Yeah. Have you seen the reload time on it? It's like 0.8 seconds for a reload in the pistol. It's insane. You can just sit there, spam your pistol, reload, and do it again. It's nuts.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, it hits like an absolute truck. Unfortunately,
I think we should stop referring trucks inside of this cast, to be honest. I think I've used the truck milk.
I think it hits like a truck's more appropriate than
hit like a truck.
2 big trucks hitting each other, and one looks bigger than the other truck.
I thought it was only production staff who would give me, you know, a hard time, but clearly not. Seems to be it's just fully demo day every day of the week. Unbelievable. But this is pretty unbelievable. Pat with a Spaz 12. This is giving me some flashbacks to the Xbox days. C4 as well gets tossed out, but to no avail. Turtle does manage to get a knife kill for himself. Must have downed somebody. Look at that. Citizen with a shotgun, full shotgun battle. Turtle, another stab kill, 2 in a row. As the sausage gets the down, but Speed's there with the pistol. Squares it off into essentially a 2 versus 2, as I don't imagine that Sylar will be picked up. No, he will be. Go on, Speed, interrogate him. Get the info.
Yeah, it doesn't really work like that. Citizen there is going to pick up a shotgun kill onto Pro, so plenty of shotguns coming out this round, and it does look as though we've got it down. So, Sylar there going to steal the interrogation off his teammate. I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see Speeds just team K him there. But in all reality, this could be the first round that Wind and Rain are able to get on the board. But Citizen there with the Twitch shotgun, getting that first kill. And it's now going to be a 1 versus 1. So shotgun versus. Oh no, I don't think he has got the. He's not got the skill cannon, has he?
No.
Sylar, unfortunately.
I'm not shocked. Are you?
It's called the skill cannon for a reason. Sylar, they're going to pick up the final kill of the round, and that's going to be the first one on the board for Wind and Rain.
Hey, they got a round. Congratulations, Wind and Rain. Can they keep it going?
Can they keep it going? It depends how long MnM play around for, I guess. If they keep it up for a couple of rounds, you never know how the momentum may shift.
So, still match point, however, so certainly MnM can try and certainly finish this out. I want to see them go for another shotgun. I want them to have another run. They were very close that time. Nello, Ash doesn't have a shotgun. What's this about? Cheating. Once again, Glaz and Finka being brought out. Nello instead going for the Ying. Speed still on that Caviera is quite unlucky. I was really hoping that interrogation would have pulled off for him there, but no, Siler stealing that kill away for him. So it will be that upstairs, the trophy room and the statuary room will be where they want to go for that more second-picked bomb site. Inside of Villa, of course, that games room being that main one. And yeah, looking at this lineup, still no hard breach. Nobody likes hard breach in Villa for some weird reason.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's a point where MnM are still, you know, enjoying themselves a little bit and putting on a little bit of a show, or do you think it's a point where they really, you know, just feel like they don't need one and they think that the Finka is a valid pick? I'm not sure. I think Finka Shotgun did some pretty good work last time. I think Turtle, after giving him a bit of a hard time, he picked up 2 kills from down players with it. So
stabs as well. 2 stabs.
I think the stabs were from the shotgun, weren't they?
Yeah, he downed them and then he decided to finish off with the stab because he's that ruthless.
Yeah, he just wants the stab stats.
You know, it's Finka. She's a Russian. What do you expect?
Reloading. 10 seconds remaining.
Well, they've not been very wise with the drones in that phase. MnM only coming out with 1 drone remaining, and that is going to be the drone on the Monty. So
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Chance of this round being taken seriously is probably pretty low, but let's see how it plays out anyway. We have got a Ying, Finka, Glaz, Switch and a Monty to deal with. So there's certainly a lot of potential for getting the bomb down, and I think that we're going to see Turtle there rushing in downstairs, but is he aware that Caviera is directly underneath that window, just waiting for that interrogation? Is Cavi going to run out or not, or is she going to live to fight another day? She's going to hide away. Hopefully not getting drawn out too much here. This could be the first. No, she's going to disrespect with the nitro cell, not even go for the interrogation at that stage.
Congratulations to Speeds. He's starting his own operator collection.
Loading new mag.
Still on the room, however, and as you can see, the shield starting to push on in by MnM. Of course, shotguns galore. It seems to be this entire matchup. We'll see the Ella shotgun, the FO12, which is a viable shotgun. It's one of my favourite. Speeds there on the stairs. Does, yeah, actually didn't even hit a shot onto Citizen there that time. Siler upstairs along with Mel. Citizen has that shotgun as well. See if he could do any damage. Ying. Flash canister does get sent in. Proxy, he hears the shield right beside him. The shield does see him, and Prox finishes off Proxy. A bit of the Prox fighting against each other there, and it will be the shield coming out on top. And look at this, 2 players off the bomb site. Prox and also Freo trying to pressure with the Glaz and Montania. Freo may come in contact with the Caviera. The interrogation, please get it, Speed. Yes, he's going to get the interrogation. Tell me your secrets, the Caviera says. Melons, with the help of his teammate, eliminates Citizen. Down Nello in the scenario, and all down the Prox as a Montania. That should be him dead. And, well, Wind and Rain, they get 2 rounds on the board thanks to Speeds. And finally, that interrogation that he was so thirsty for finally pays off.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job to get the interrogation off. But you can just see how crucial it is on the round. It really does become just a little bit of a hunting down party then once you know where your opponent is, and things start to change. But we are seeing a slightly different lineup this time from MnM. This is a little bit more as to what we would expect. We're going to have a hard breacher there, we're going to have a Capital, we're going to have a Thatcher, and they're all the kind of... Nello still trying to switch it up and just switched off the fuse at the last moment to the Thatcher. His teammates obviously saying, right, enough is enough, we're now going to start playing. And I think this will be a much more serious round coming over from MnM right now.
Yeah, it seems to be more of the MnM fashion. They have brought the first hard breacher we have, and I'm sure this is probably going to give Wind and Rain a bit of a shock. They're probably thinking, oh yeah, MnM are going to join in into the fun. This is more like a kind of show match we're kind of casting here at the moment with all the festivities that we do have. But yeah, looking at it, this is more of the lineup that you're always kind of expecting for this matchup. You know, they have the hard breach, which of course is going to be the main thing, and it will be on, you know, the more defendable bomb site. This is the most common one. Proxa will be taking the Alibi. What's your kind of take on Alibi? Because she hasn't been an operator which really hasn't impacted the meta, you know, compared to her counterpart Maestro.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a little bit of Alibi earlier on, and it is a little bit strange to see because her uses are specific and few. I think one of the better ways is to kind of place down in doorways or windows and get that notification when an attacker comes through. If obviously the attacker can't shoot out the alibi first, but I don't think that anyone really gets tricked by them in any way. You maybe put a couple of shots in and get alert, you know, get your presence alerted. But it's absolutely nothing compared to some of the abilities that are out there. For Jackal, for example, that's a really constant ping. I think the alibi ping is a little bit softer, but certainly where it needs to be, it doesn't want to be too powerful because obviously it would change the balance a little bit there. But yeah, I don't even believe that Alibi's actually thrown any prisoners out, although I think she may have just thrown one there into the doorway. So yeah, you can see there just putting a couple down in the doorway, and that's just going to give you a bit of an indication as to when people are pushing through that doorway, through that corridor and door, if you don't shoot them out first.
So, still very early on to the round. As you see, MnM are going to start their pressure. Turtle just sees the foot of Prox, and that will be enough to give MnM the early lead. And a roamer off the board. Speed still roaming about as well. As Ella will be inside of the pottery, but no, that will be just this. Yeah, this is MnM in a nutshell. They have just pulled the complete switcheroo onto Wind and Rain. They've just completely came in, obliterated their roamers, and then they can finally make their final push onto the bomb sites. There will only be Melons and Siler that have to go. Free faction raids go in. Ella might as well do get pop. Melons will peek on out. Turtle eliminates Siler. A very risky run out from Melons, but doesn't pay off for him, and he's going to run away. Where are you going, bud? Go pick some grapes. Get the line made. Because you'll probably need to join it in your sorrows after, you know, MnM are here just holding the angles. Whoa, quick double kill, but no, Freo is there, and Melons will fall, and that will be all she wrote for MnM versus Wind and Rain. The outcome that we both did expect. 6-2 fashion for MnM. It was a very, very fun match in terms of all the different plays that we did have.
Yeah, I think there was some good sportsmanship there. There was obviously, you know, everyone was having a good time and, you know, taking things a little bit more lightheartedly, if you will. So it's always nice to see that, and MnM obviously, you know, putting on a good show for the fans and stuff. So fantastic. But I mean, that final play, it wasn't beyond the realms of possibility for Wind and Rain to clutch that round out. The diffuser was downstairs, outside the building. Yep, you got the defender outside the building who's being spotted and stuff, but he managed to pick up 2 kills, and it came down to a 1v1, so it wasn't beyond the realms of possibility. I'm by no means saying that Wind and Rain would have won the map, because I think that although MnM started that round very well, they were maybe a little bit lax in some of the things that they did. But it just goes to show that they're definitely the team that deserves to be where they are in second place.
And I'm sure probably looking at MnM, they don't want to give anything away. They know they're qualified. They're not going to sit there and pull out everything, you know, use all of their strategies that I'm sure they probably want to keep. Because, of course, in a best-of-3 playoff series at LAN, Villa could be an option for them. And, well, at least we kind of know now that, yeah, it won't be MnM versus Secret, because they're first seed versus second seed. So they will, I believe, their second seed will go against the third seeded team, which, of course, we still have to find out inside of the playoffs, of course. But yeah, we'll have to see really where it goes from there, because there's still plenty of things that teams can still prepare for. Of course, MnM have a lot of time before they do have their LAN, which is you know, less than a month away now as well. So it is starting to creep on up. It's been a very quick season. You know, we started way back the first week of October. That's us nearly done with the regular season already.
Yeah, it's certainly flown by, and MnM have found themselves in a good position now where they don't have to worry about playoffs. They're just able to focus now on the LAN and on the finals, and they can really start preparing. And they need to give less away, because they're going to play less games in between now and then. They can just concentrate on scrimming, and you know, as you said, we've seen Villa there, but we've not seen Villa there. We've not really seen the nitty gritty, and you know, we've just seen very, you know, generic stuff that kind of, you know.
That's generic.
Well, not the memeing stuff. I think that was pretty good. You know, all going out with shotguns and stuff like that. But the rounds that they did take seriously, it was, you know, just good common sense siege, hard breaches, a little bit of disruption, guys watching flanks and stuff like that. So, you know, they really haven't given enough, you know, anything away at all. And I think there's certainly a possibility of seeing Villa in the final, which would be great